The bull market is still on, even though we all feel like it's over. And we're witnessing leverage happen in real time. Do you remember this? You probably don't. You weren't around. I wasn't either. Saylor lost $6 billion in a day. Hotshot Tech CEO loses fortune as his company's stock plunges 140 points. Should your child take Ritalin? Madonna's with child. That's interesting. All the way back then. If you want to check it out, friends, MicroStrategy, what we're witnessing back then was this. Oh, man. That was the Volatility. Yeah, the tech stock. My gosh, man. That is freaking autism there. That's wild. That is freaking. It's over. Gosh. So this is nuts, man. From $320 down. Jeez. And then it went down. Now, this is the funniest part of all, right? You hold and hold and hold and hold, and then bang! Oh my gosh, what a wild story, man. What a wild story. Went all the way back down, 25 years later. That's gold. Now, why I'm showing this to you is leverage, okay? Because look at this, friends. So this is, there's a Twitter channel that just appeared. I started following it just because it's fun. It's serious though, it's not a joke. Documenting Saylor. Michael Saylor says, it's not debt, it's convertible debt. Bitcoin could go from 100K to 1K. The debt is not going to get called. There is no recourse. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. They're humans and you're writing it on paper. It's not DeFi, dude. It's just a piece of paper. There'll be courts, there'll be people yelling. There'll be people who, if these things go bad, there'll be people who literally will end their own existence. They'll walk off a bridge, they'll jump off a building, they'll say, you did it, it's all over for you, they'll corp. That's, friends, that's what humans do. We noticed in the courts are fair and just, but then when there's like a lot of bad turmoil stuff, we saw what happened with Dildo Con, by the way. Unfortunately, there's some people in Korea, friends, they literally jumped off a building. They lost everything in Luna UST. They had their whole life savings in, like, oh, I'm done. Yeah, so that's what happens in this. Now, obviously, we don't want it to happen whatsoever. We're praying it doesn't happen. We're going to light candles for everyone every day. But that's the reality of the situation. You don't think, oh, it's fine. It's going to be fine, you know. But it doesn't stop there because, like, right now, everything's cool, you know, because we can go check out Saylor Tracker. Saylor Tracker. Bro, he's only up 30% on his whole. Man, that's gold. Oh, man, that's gold. Okay, just, bro, you're up 30% after. Jeez. It's so much leverage. Now, remind you, he bought $16 billion here and $16 billion since the beginning of his life. So in the past few months, he bought another $16 billion. So they're just wild, man. It just doubles up there. His average price is like $67,000, which will be up higher. Now, this is the thing, right? I'm going to read this here for you, okay? The statement is misleading to casual listeners by downplaying depth's nature and risks, and it's financially flawed for emitting dilution, default, and maturity pressures. Saylor's track record, MicroStrategy's stock soared with Bitcoin's rise, lends him credibility. But this specific claim lacks rigor. I'd add a caveat. His strategy has worked so far, leveraging low-interest debt to amplify Bitcoin gains, but it's a high-wire act, not a free pass. So you got to remember here, friends. So it's financially flawed. It emits the dilution, the defaulting, and the maturity pressures, okay? So Chris says, most hodlers have no idea this works. It's very simple, similar to any company going bankrupt. The existing equity holders get wiped. The credit holders take control and liquidate assets. Worthless Bitcoin in this case, so they get wiped out too. Okay. Basically, if Bitcoin falls, MicroStrategy will be diluted to pay the debt. If Bitcoin goes up, it will be diluted by Saylor for at the money. If the equity goes low enough, there is no way to pay without taking the value of a share to basically zero. Even Grok says it goes in. Okay. So look at this. Grok says convertible debt can be turned into stock or cash, reducing risk if Bitcoin's price drops. Yeah, bro. But friends, it reminds me of the Luna debacle. It does. Debacle is a new word I've made. Debacle and fiasco. This Tabasco we saw, friends, it's not an issue now, but when he brings his average price above 100K, it will be interesting bear market hedge. So as you remember, friends, Terra Luna, what happened was we had basically the Luna UST, the stable coin at $1, when it went down, their mechanism to restore it is to print Luna tokens. You grab the bid from the Luna equity, and then you go try to restore the bid. The problem is, it went down so far, the Luna UST stablecoin went down so far that this thing had to be capitulated into zero to try rescue it, and they rescued nothing. Yeah, they literally rescued nothing. Okay, so this was an inevitability, actually. It was an inevitability. But yeah, what they actually, I don't know what they should have done, really, but you can't win because so the algo system doesn't work. Someone's going to have to take a hit. It's like you got two cities and they both help each other, but one of the cities runs out of food, so they have to fight with each other, and there's only one city left. And they're like not really friends anymore, right? Because the other team's dead. Yeah, so this algo stablecoin, they didn't have enough to back it. So if I remember, if I calculated, they had 40,000 Bitcoin, which was worth 1.6 billion at the time. And then the bid of Luna, I think they could have accumulated maybe about another 1 billion. Maybe. So let's say you have 2 billion there. You still lost. Why? Because Luna UST was 16. Okay. So see what happens. So you have 2.6. So you have 1.6 billion from the Bitcoin storage. Maybe you have 1.0 from the bid of Luna from up here at this point in time when this was happening. And then you've got to cover those 16B of UST. So this 2.6 was not enough for the 16 billion. Now, how much would have been enough? Well, what we've learned from USTD, so Tether and Cuck USDC Circle, is like, of course, you got to have everything available unless you have a full-on bank run. But what we learned is you need about 50%. You need about 50%. Yeah. Now, that's actually a scary number to think about because that's, you know, like obviously Richard knows about this and everyone knows about this. But we know this from the Tether market cap going down. Like you have no upside and people were redeeming. They redeemed about the Tether market cap. So I made videos on this. That was very, very interesting. I started investigating this myself when I was learning about PDI, okay? Over time, like, okay, the story, can we make this thing work? So you can actually go and look at Tether's market cap right here. You go check it out. And this is it right now. So this is Tether's market cap during the bear market. So it went from 83 billion, and then on the Luna collapse and the FTX collapse, it was down to, so this is actually the Luna collapse, right? But this is a bear market, right? It went from 83 down to about 65, which is kind of amazing to think about. So if you do like 65 on 83, oh my gosh, friends, you still had 78% of your reserves still sitting there. So you only needed 22%. That's wild. How much did like Luna have? They had about 2.6 on 16. Wow, they had 16%. Wow. So I just calculated. So Terra Luna here had 16%. So right here, they had 16% reserves and they went to zero. Yeah. And then Tether got cracked for 22% and they're still okay. But see, the thing, it was the market, right? The market believed Tether was fully back pretty much. Oh, it didn't really matter, actually. It's what the market decides. People like redeeming billions and billions and billions of dollars. There was like 1 month or 1 week they redeemed $14 billion into US bank accounts, just throwing in there because everyone's like leaving. But yeah, I wonder where that rule number is. That's something interesting to think about. Do you need the full backings for it, for a stable coin to cover in the event of a draw out? But having said that, so I use this as like a proxy to think about this interesting thing what's going on with Saylor, right? And the leverage, because it is leverage. If you're borrowing other people's money, they want a return on it. You are using leverage, and it just increases the probability, friends. I'm just going to show you something because we've got to talk about just your perception of markets and the technology adoption curve. So I have the skeptics here. See, this is the technology adoption curve. Okay, so you see this curve here. On the left, you have innovators. Then you move to early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards. Okay, now Saylor, the way he talks as if you're still a visionary. All right, that's how he talks. But if he's a visionary, then what is Andreas Antonopoulos and Richard Hart when they're in Bitcoin at $1 with Roger Ver? What are they? You're buying at $100,000 with $16 billion. Visionary? Maybe. I don't know, man. Okay, I don't know. We know it's a technology fence. I don't know. Like, I'll just be very, very, very careful. Now, skeptics and laggards. Like, think about this, friends. So Marcus Saylor's doing leverage now. Now, that's what I got to tell you. If you do leverage, you're not as really much of a believer it's going to pump. Because leverage means you think it's not satisfying enough for a spot market. Okay? That's what it is. It's a spot market pump for you. It's kind of like if you have a race car and you're gonna go in a race, if you really thought your car was going to win, you would not modify the engine. If you really thought that. Yeah. But then maybe you crank it up and you do some tweaks. If you really, really thought, you know. Unless people might say, oh, but you're just trying to make sure you do that. Yeah, but there's the making sure part. The car can pretty much explode, right? Because you're not really sure you can win. Yeah. By the way, it's the same thing when it comes to pretty much all the Olympic sports. Everybody's on some sort of steroids or dopamine or doping at some form. They're all doing some sort of performance enhancement. So they obviously know they're not good enough with the natural human ability to basically go the whole distance because everyone else is cheating. Yeah. Very, very similar. The world works like that. You also have Donald Trump. Okay, literally, friends. Donald Trump thinks we are kids playing on a Game Boy. That's what he thinks of crypto. Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing a McDonald's hat, folks. Okay, so he's now got a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Donald Trump's in. He's a real estate guy. Is that visionary early? That's Skeptics, man. He doesn't even know what the hell this thing does. He goes, Bitcoin is quite the coin, actually. Quite the coin. That's how he talks. He said that. Quite the coin. He was more interested in the FIFA meme coin at the crypto summit than anything else. He doesn't give a shit. Stable coin, what's going on? FIFA meme coin. Quite the coin, sir. Quite the coin. Skeptic, man. Laggard. What about Uncle Peter Schiff? Uncle Peter Schiff. I've decided to create my own strategic Bitcoin reserve, and then he puts his Bitcoin address. So he's using the chain now to raise money. And you might say, oh, but I'm raising money for a joke. Doesn't matter, bro. You got a use case. You got a use case. It's like if I have a graffiti can of like ink, and then I tell you this graffiti can has use case. And you say, no, it's not. Here, let me go graffiti on trains. I'm like, well, there you go, bro. You just proved my point. It has a use case. Now, maybe my use case is called art, and your use case is just called graffitiing on trains. Doesn't matter. It's still a use case. And then Uncle Peter Schiff is like, no, I'm trying to prove a point that it's useless. No, bro. You just prove a point that it's useful. You're the skeptical laggard. He's getting entertainment value. He's having fun with it. That's how many people are in. He actually said in his post after that, he replies, he goes, oh, I thought it's a really good example to show you it's funny. It's a funny joke. That's literally the skeptics at the very, very end because they don't take it seriously. Because, it's at the very, very end. You're joking about it now. Hey, I thought it was a joke to show you how non-serious this thing is. Very funny. It's very funny. It was funny when you think about it. So all of these, to me, are represented by a very high Bitcoin dominance. Okay? Very, very, very high. Very high. All of these. Now, the next part is going to be interesting. Are the people going to follow through? Or is that how the story is going to end? Bitcoin just keeps going up forever. I know how it's going to follow. You know, dude. How do cycles end on Euphoria? What's Euphoria? Oh, I'm going to go do 40x leverage on Bitcoin. You know it doesn't happen like that, friends. Bitcoin, the strategic reserve, right? It just shows you how dangerous it is to be a Bitcoin maxi, especially after the 2024 freak accident we witnessed. So that was ETH BTC going down, Bitcoin dominance going up. For the first time in a Bitcoin halving year, Bitcoin dominance went up. Michael Saylor skeptical of Bitcoin rising up fast enough in the short term, so he's doing leverage. The US government is the second biggest skeptic of Bitcoin in the world, outdone by the US Fed. Uncle Peter Schiff is actually using Bitcoin now, and he's one of the biggest skeptics. So We just have so many skeptical people in. So, but you won't believe it now until the price has moved already. Okay, so that's why everyone's taking their bets. And I wonder if Ethereum and this squiggly line pawn is going to be helpful in the future. So I don't know when things are going to move up, friends. I don't know. Just this is, if you're an investor, this is what it comes down to. Yeah, I know everyone. If we're investors, not traders. If you want to trade, okay, but dude, you're not even interested in this weekly time frame. You don't give a shit about it. You go down, you look cute little 5-minute chart or 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, doing these little 8-hour swing trades, or you're scalping every day. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, if you're playing for a whole cycle, you know bull markets don't die on depression and skepticism. Okay, bull markets die on euphoria. I'm hoping for a white swan. Some would say I'm already the white swan because you and I are now friends. Like, subscribe, really button on. Catch you soon.